saying nothing. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to. Are we in June? It's June, isn't it? Yeah.
No,
June.
May.
No, it's May. No, we're.
May.
Oh my God, I don't even know what day it is anymore.
May.
We're May.
We are May.
We are May. I feel like I want to start that again, but I'm not going to, because that would require editing, and I don't do editing on this. We are winging it. So, welcome to May. Welcome back, everyone. We should be writing. What have you been doing, Ali?
Well, I have just got back from the UK, where I went over to babysit my parents' dog while they went off to Portugal and had a lovely time drinking port. And do you know what? We actually had a great time. So before we went, I looked at the weather, and at home here in France, it was going to be absolutely glorious. And I looked at Yorkshire, and it was going to be like fucking awful. So I got really quite grumpy about it, because I was like, I'm leaving 26 degrees to go to frigging Yorkshire where it's cold. Anyway, we arrived in the UK, where we did say hello to you, Claire, and Charlie, very briefly. And as we were driving up north, it was like the clouds cleared and it just went beautiful. So I had to apologise to the universe for being a bit of a stroppy bitch. And we just had like awesome weather. So we went, me and Ange went to Brimham Rocks, which is a really beautiful place in Yorkshire, where you go and see all the natural formations of rocks from when there was like the ocean there. Awesome. We went and saw different parts of my family. And yeah, just had a real chilled out time.
Hold on. When you say you went and saw different parts of your family, I think you might need to reword that, because that could
right.
Could sound a little bit. Which parts of your family were you looking at?
I would like to say, Ali, I didn't even notice that.
No, that was weird that your brain went there. Whatever. So no, I went to my cousin. So my cousin, who she took us out in Leeds for the day for my birthday. And then we played darts. I won. Can I just say I won? Which is a miracle. And then we saw my uncle a couple of times because we walked the dog. So yeah, it was just, I took a complete break from work. Absolutely did nothing to do with work. And it was really, really cool. And then we got back on the weekend, picked our dogs up from their little doggy hotel. And now I've just been apologising for abandoning them because they believe that we obviously left them forever. So yeah, so now I'm back to home, and I suppose at some point I might write. I don't know, maybe not.
Well, I mean, you know, we said it earlier. You're looking very healthy. You're looking very well.
Got a tan.
She's got a tan. She's got a ginger tan.
And it's a proper tan. It's not just where my freckles merge together. That's what usually happens. But no, it's not a tan.
To be fair, it's not a ginger tan, Claire, because a ginger tan would be bright red. So
I have got that up here.
A normal tan
here where it's nice and red there.
Very true. But yeah, I won't tell you, listener number 3, what we were discussing about bandanas before this. Maybe over coffee when we meet up. We're not bringing that conversation back in. But yeah, Ali is looking very, very.
I don't look like that, yeah.
Oh, what have you got in there? Oh, I'm going to guess.
Are you already on rum?
Run it out.
One of them days.
No, it's just apple juice. Just apple juice, people.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah. And anyway,
a little bit of whiskey.
Moving on from that topic that I've brought up really inappropriately. Leah, what have you been doing when you should have been reading?
I have been reading. Shock horror.
That's not an answer for this segment, is it?
Horror.
That's not an answer for this segment. That's your answer for the next segment.
Okay, we have been doing. I say we. Rog has been converting the back of the garage for me into a little smut hut. It's gonna be called the Smut Hut. I'm trying to decide.
Is he going to get you another sign?
Oh no, but I'll show him this, and he can get me another one.
Yeah.
Can I say that we might need to clarify in this one what the Smut Hut means? It's not your like sex dungeon, or is it like where you get to do a set of books, or is it going to be a mixture of both?
I don't know. Yet. I decided what I'm doing in there, and you might get an invite, you might not.
Oh, bated breath.
A little bit worrying.
No, I'm going to put all my books out there because they're already overflowing everywhere. So the idea is to put them all out there. I can put all this crap out there as well. Please don't break into my garage now. I am going to be bringing my laptop into the house each night, so don't even
There will
bother.
be nothing of any expense left in the smart hut.
No, it won't.
No. A couple of cans of Coke in the fridge. That's about it.
I've got a nice, decent fridge out there, so I can put probably a little bit of this in. Probably, So we're kitting that out at the minute. It's being gutted and painted and trying to find the right size units to put in there because it's a bit. So one wall's quite deep, so we can put like kitchen units out there with bookcases on the top. But the other wall's a little bit narrower, and that's where my desk is going to be. And then we need to do some built-ins. Again, I say we need to do some built-ins. Rog needs to do some built-ins. So I've been, he's been getting a little bit stressed over that, trying to find him at the minute. He's deep diving. Not in a fun way.
Why does our brains go instantly?
You started laughing.
I just feel like I'm in that innuendo mode today, and I'm just going to have to snap myself out of that.
Just today.
It's like my life 24/7.
So that's what we've been doing.
Yeah,
taking shit out the garage, putting shit back in the garage, taking it out the garage, putting it back in the garage when it rains. Yeah, deep diving in there together.
No fun. Oh.
No fun.
What about you, Claire?
Anything else?
We've talked. I don't want to talk about deep diving with Leah and Roger anymore.
I've not done much deep diving. Well, I did have to do a bit of research about something, but we'll come on to that next month maybe. But I've had mostly just football really. I've just been hanging out doing a lot of football. I know you two are bored of it, but you know what?
But now Brighton are doing quite well. I'm quite into it.
Oh, you're into it now. Now you're on the winning side.
Unfortunately, I don't have much loyalty, so if they do a bit crap, I'll get bored. But
well, yeah. I mean, if you are into football and stuff, it is very exciting when you support a team that's not particularly, a big star in the world of WSL. We're not a top 4 team. We want to be, but in this last month, we've beaten Arsenal, knocked them out of the cup. We've beaten Man City, who are top of the league and about to win the title. And we've drawn with Manchester United, who we have never beaten for, I don't even know how long. And they're in the top 4 as well. So, so we've got Arsenal again on Wednesday in the league. And I'm just very, very excited about it because I'm just like, ooh. And then we've got the FA Cup semi-final on Sunday up in Liverpool. So if you're up in Liverpool... Of course I'm going to. I go to every game. I will be there on the coach. But if you're up in Liverpool, I will be doing my usual come find me, get a book. So, if you find me, it's not going to be hard to miss me. I look like this. And I'm in a crowd of about 250 Brighton fans. It's not many to sort of filter us about.
And you're probably the tallest one out of all of them.
I might be the tallest one, yeah. So, if you want a book, come and find me. I'll sign it for you and we'll have a little photo. And
I think we should get you one of those little headbands that has an arrow pointing, so you can just walk around and just got an arrow pointing to
This is me.
We can get those. What are those? So it's a band that goes around your head, but then on the top it's got like an umbrella thing, and it's rainbow coloured to protect the top of your head. We could get one of those.
You could just to make me stand out even more. I mean, I feel like
stand out.
I feel like readers could put a little bit of effort into it to find me, because I shouldn't need to have to give them too much. Like, here I am.
No, you shouldn't. But you should want to give us a photographic evidence so we can
like that.
There you go. Look at that.
I could grab one of those. I suppose I could do that. But yeah. So anyway, we've talked shit for 10 minutes, and.
No, I'm just sitting here looking at different hats I could get you.
I know, but I
squid. Why is there a rainbow squid?
I need to find out my chicken hat. You can have that.
I have got several Christmas. I will. Next time you're over, ask me to show you my Christmas hat selection.
I will do.
Steady.
I think you will be impressed.
I'm excited
already.
On
an entire turkey.
Do you know what? We did that with
inside a turkey.
Right. So my mum and dad have got them. So the first Christmas and was with my parents. They they lied to her basically and said that it was a tradition that everybody had to wear the turkey hat to carve the turkey. So I got a great picture of it, and she just didn't care. She was like, cool. She got the turkey on her head carving. It was very funny.
Fabulous.
Bless her. Good old Anne.
Fabulous.
Yeah, she didn't care.
It is what it is. But, so we've talked a lot longer than we normally do for our first section, so I feel like I'm going to mix it up a bit. I feel like I'm going to mix it up a bit because we do have our amazing guests backstage waiting, and I think we can swap yous around, Leah, and you can do your book reviews afterwards because this is more
fine by me.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely more important than my waffle.
Well, yeah. So, without further ado, let me introduce you to our guest, the amazing and fantastic queen of fantasy and, shall we say, dark romance, smut, queen of basically everything. We just love her. So, anyway, Sacha Black, welcome to the We Should Be Writing podcast.
Hello. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, we can. Perfectly.
Okay. Thank you for having me.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah. Well, we're all muddying through as usual. But,
well,
drinking too much coffee.
I mean, that's a decent. I'm going about bookcases, but look at that behind you. That is just.
It's a library.
Yes, probably. Are they all your books?
No, God, no. This is just my office one. I have another kind of multicolored one inside as well, but these are all the spicier books, my writing craft, like books that I'm learning from. Yeah. And then this one here is it's backwards. Hang on, how do I do it? These two are mine, and then everything else is like books that I've either read or need to read or whatever. Yeah.
I really want to do the colour coordinated one, but I've so far on my bookcase I have one shelf, so doesn't really work.
Help, mate.
Yeah, to be fair, you've only had a bookcase for about a month, so
I know. And to be fair, I did just buy €100 worth of books the other day, so maybe I need
There you go.
Also, anyway. I think the rainbow bookcases look pretty. I like the aesthetics of them, but it would drive me nuts that the authors aren't together.
So
with their books.
The funny thing is that I can't remember anybody's name, and I don't remember any book title. So I will remember a face, but I will not know anybody's name. And so I actually find the book that I want to read because I know what it's got on the cover and the color of it. So this is literally my library categorization method. And everyone thinks I just do it for the aesthetics. I'm like, that's definitely right.
Yeah, that's exactly why I do it. Exactly.
Exactly. I'm not perimenopausal. Can't fucking remember anything. No.
Yeah. My brain would have to have it all in the colours, but then each colour would be alphabetical and, you know what I mean? That they would have to be organised in something like that, which would drive me nuts. I would drive me nuts.
Very confusing. My brain's already going, no, don't like that.
No, I know.
It's too much.
I know. But anyway, moving on. Sacha, the first question we always ask everybody, what have you been doing when you should have been writing?
So I actually find that quite difficult because I'm even though I don't have any discipline, I'm pretty disciplined. If I'm meant to be writing, I tend to write. The problem is that I often am not meant to be writing because I have a warehouse, so I'm often in the warehouse or I speak at a lot of events, so I do lots of things like that. Or I don't know, really. Sometimes I go to the gym. I find that a really hard question. My job is my life. Yeah. I'm always in the fucking office.
I think that it's fine if that's the answer. Do you know what I mean? That is the thing. If the whole dream for most people is to do a job that we enjoy and we want to be doing. If you're gonna have to get paid for something, you might as well be doing something you love. And if being in the warehouse and writing books and things is what you absolutely love, and that's your spare time, your real time, your work time, I think that's the perfect answer.
Well, it's a difficult one, isn't it? Because there are different types of writers. Lots of writers are your consistent. I write every day. I might write 2,000 words a day, every day, 365 days a year. I would die if I tried to do that. So I can't sit still. So I have to have 800 different things that I'm doing. So I don't really when I should be writing, I'm writing, but I don't feel like I should be writing every day. Yes. So that's why it's a hard question for me to answer because I tend to binge write. I write very quickly when I do write. Most of my books I write in 3 or 4 weeks, and then I edit in 2 and it's done. But that's because a lot of the work I do in like outlining. And I used to be a developmental editor, so I do like weirdly a lot of my developmental edits in the outlining. So I won't start a story until I know it's right. So then like the rest of the time, I mean, I don't know, I travel, I go to the gym, I see friends, I'm going to a comedian show this weekend, like Ashley Gavin, she's well good, I don't know, she's a queer comedian, she's hilarious. Yeah,
that's pretty good. I think you're packing a lot in there. I mean, getting to the gym for a start is a miracle. I haven't done that for a long time. It's one of those things where I'm just, I just can't be bothered. I've got to that point where I just can't be bothered now, and I'm happy with that.
I love the gym. I absolutely
love it. Once I get there, it's getting me there. It's that point of going from A to B. Once I get to B, I'm in it. I love it. I'm,
Are you like a weights person or a cardio person?
No, you have to put a gun to my head before I do cardio willingly. My PT instructor has to trick me into cardio. There's only one form of cardio I really like, which is the ski erg. It's like a rower, but you stand up rather than using, like, because my back hurts if I do the sit down rower. But no, I do a lot of calisthenics, general like weightlifting, stuff like that, and I do love the burn. The burn.
Yeah, I used to have a PT. He was from Lithuania, big, massive, like 6'7", and he used to get me to do all the sort of leg stuff, and I'd be going out and he'd shout at me and he'd go, "Don't use the lift," and he'd be like, "Okay," and then the next day I'd come in and he'd be laughing. He'd go, "Oh my God, I watched you walk down the stairs," and I'm like, "That's just mean." Like, I could barely move. I'm wobbling, gripping hold of the banister in case I fall because my legs are done, and he's sitting in there watching it on the CCTV, thinks it's hilarious. I was like, "You're mean, but I like it."
I love it.
I know. So, Leah, do you have a question? Go for it.
I do. My question is, did you start as fanfic? Because I know a lot of, and I always ask this question because I'm genuinely interested, because I found fanfic over lockdown, and that's how I got into finding you guys. So I'm always interested in, like, did you start off there, or were you already writing? Because you got, obviously, didn't you write straight books as well? Am I wrong?
Yeah, so I didn't even know what fan fiction was until what's her name? They were converted to Amazon Prime films. Can't remember. Really, really the biggest fan fiction author. Look at me trying to remember a name.
I'm the same as you.
After Love, is that a thing? Was that a movie? After Love, something like After Love, or it was sort of like upper YA. It was straight. Anyway, that person started on Wattpad, and that's kind of how I heard about fan fiction. So no, definitely not. I am your classic nerd who learnt to read before she went to school and never stopped. I read my mum out of our local village library, and she had to start taking me to the town library because I had quite literally read everything, including things I probably shouldn't have read. And then I went to school, and quite rightly, my parents were like, "Go and get a proper degree, so that you can go and get a corporate career or whatever." And 6 months into a corporate career, I realized I'd made an egregious error. And so I did what was cool back then, which was to write a blog. And that's how I found NaNoWriMo. I know that's now defunct and we don't really talk about it anymore, but back then it was still okay. And I did a NaNoWriMo and wrote a novel in a month. And it was straight young adult, what we would now call romantasy. I just didn't know that wasn't a term back then. And I did that because I'd never read queer fiction, because that wasn't accessible to me. And I genuinely feel like we are a product of our history, right? So what you input gets smashed up with your life experiences, your emotion, your trauma, your travel, your everything that you do see and experience, and then it gets spat back out again. So I just didn't really know that queer fiction was a thing. And then I met a couple of queer authors, particularly like sapphic authors, but it still didn't really register that that was a thing. And then I accidentally stumbled upon Katie Robert and Queen Takes Rose, and like it was a come to Jesus moment. I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, hold on a minute. What do you mean this exists? Yeah. Where has it been? And then the more I dug into it, the more I could only really find contemporary romance, like contemporary sapphic romance. And I'm probably going to get absolutely slated for saying this. I can't read it. I just can't. It's so close to my reality and what I live day to day. I get bored. And I am very much an escape artist. And like, I have always read fantasy my whole life. Like since I was a toddler, I was reading fantasy. And so anything that is different from my day-to-day life, I can read. So then I kind of tried to search for for sapphic fantasy and found it, but it was only young adult. And so I kind of read all the young adult sapphic fantasy that I could get my hands on and was like, but Queen Takes Rose exists. And the thing about Katie that they do, which is incredible, is that they set their fiction in a contemporary universe that is right on the line of fantastical. And you're never quite sure if it is fantasy or if it isn't, but it's so, I don't know, it's just what I love about their work. Even the Dark Olympus, where they're kind of the Greek gods, even though they're not, there's like this hint or air of magic.
Yeah.
Anyway, and so I was trying to find sapphic adult romantasy, and there was very little. There were the odd one or two, but I was like, what? Like, no, I am a voracious reader. One or two ain't gonna cut it. And so, what does any righteous author do? They start writing it. So can't find it, write it, exactly. And so that was how it started. And also because I think I had felt like I had left my day job in this like dramatic, fuck you corporate world fashion, and then like very rapidly created a job for myself rather than actually like a career or a vocation or a business where I can like do whatever I want. And so then I started writing as Ruby, but in secret. And so I wrote A Game of Hearts and Heist in complete secret, complete isolation. Nobody knew what I was doing. I didn't even fucking know what I was doing. And then I finished it. And the minute I sent it to the editor, I was like, oh yeah, no, I don't give a fuck. I want to tell everyone. And so obviously then like the name came out and so on. So that was a really long answer. But
no, it was a good answer.
Did I actually answer the question though? I can't even remember.
To be honest, you answered my second question, which was, have you always been interested in fantasy? And you answered that for me.
Oh yeah. Like I can read straight contemporary romance because it's not my like lived experience. It's not my day to day. So like it feels like escapism because I don't give a shit about the characters. I mean, I care, but I don't care, you know. But I would say the vast majority of what I read is fantasy, with the exception now of darker romances. So there are now, like, we're seeing the rise of dark sapphic romance, and they are contemporary, but because my wife's actually a really nice person and isn't awful to me, and that's different from my life. So I kind of feel like I can read that. So I am now starting to kind of read like dark contemporary sapphic romances as well. But pretty much I read air quotes fantasy, which is really a caveat term for anything that isn't my real life.
I totally get that, because I don't read romance at all, so they can slate us both together. I'm writing it all day. Why do I want to read it? I just really struggle to then get into it as a spare time thing, because I just don't. And also I kind of feel like I'm one of those people, like, I will mirror things, so I don't want to take somebody else's story into mine, or you know what I mean. So I just don't read them. But I'm a big murder mystery. That's what I'm, because again, like you say, it's not my real life. I'm not murdering people. Honestly, I'm not. But you know,
you're not. Oh, okay.
to a few of them. But yeah, it's just something that I can just come out of my head, away from my characters and away from everything that I write, to just be entertained by something completely different. So I totally get that.
Yeah, I have been reading a lot more really random like genres this year. So I read I'm reading How to Stop Time by Matt Haig. No, it's a blue cover with an hourglass on it. Who knows what it actually is?
You'd be able to find it on your shelf.
You know what? No, because it's inside. It's inside. But I'm tandem reading it with my eyes and my ears, so I can tell you what it actually is. Hold on 1 second. It's in my How to Stop Time. I got that bit right. Yay me. Matt Haig, not Craig. In fact, it is Matt Haig. So there we go. And it is a blue cover, so I was right about that. But I also read Recursion by Blake Crouch, which is this mind-bending time travel science fiction thriller, and it was like crack cocaine to my brain. And now I have been on a 5-month bender trying to find anything that comes close to it, and I just can't. But it's like if Matrix banged the Adjustment Bureau with a bit of Inception as a three-way, that's what that book would be. And it's amazing, and I can't find any more of them, and I'm not sure if I'm clever enough to write it, so it's a problem.
Yeah, that's the thing with those kind of books, isn't it? You've really got to have every little detail.
Yeah.
You know, micromanaged kind of thing.
Those 3 things you put together there, that's a really good visual of, like, I could see exactly what you were talking about there. I was like, okay, I might have a look at that one.
Yeah, and like I think it might be my book of the year still. I don't know. I did read a few dark romances that also rewired my brain chemistry, but I don't know. Love it. Love the odd random thing just to, you know, keep you. I don't know what the words are. Perimenopause. Who knows what words are anymore?
Totally get it. Ali, what have you got written down for your little question?
I actually did have to write it down because, like you, Sacha, my memory is terrible, and I generally don't really know how I get up most days.
Right. Most of the
time, does it get better?
I will get a message from one of these two that 2 hours before, going, "What time are we doing this?" You know,
every single time.
Ali's is usually, she can't even remember what the date is. She's usually coming tomorrow or something like that. And we're like, I messaged her like this morning. I was like, "Podcast today, Ali. It's podcast today."
Yeah. And I'm normally preparing for the wrong author because I've got my months confused. So.
It is amazing we actually get this thing going, is it? To be fair, we'll turn up on time and actually do it. It's quite good.
We're very much winning it. To be honest, it's an excuse just to have a chat and have a laugh, really. Like,
right, sure. Then let me get me questions on. Right. So, how do you balance everything? Because you've got a life. You do your writing. You're running your warehouse. How do you protect your inner peace with it all? Because even though your job is your life, surely, you know, there does come a time when you have to have a break, or, you know.
What is peace and what's a break? Okay. So I always find this one really difficult to answer because I do think some of the way I am is literally the way I was born. I was wired to be a bit of a masochist, I think. I mean, it just like, it's the same for why I'm a bit savage in the gym. So I just met my new PT instructor. Tangent, so sorry, I'm great at that. And she basically turned around to me and said, "Do you have time? And do you have any time restraints?" And I was like, "No." So she did 2 PT sessions, and she was like, "Sorry, and you haven't been in the gym for 4 months?" And I was like, "No." And she was like, "I would love to know what you were like at the peak of your fitness." And I was like, savage, to be honest. Like, that's a good word to describe me, my personality, and my life. So I'm not sure there is any balance. One thing that I would say is I've got a pretty big team now. So it's not just me anymore. Like, there is no chuffing way I could do what I'm doing on my own. So I have a lady that works in the warehouse, and she does all the fulfillment. I kind of hop in and out of the warehouse every so often. And I go and sign books, although I've just moved to tip-ins, which apparently is hard for me to say. But yeah, I moved to tip-ins because it's too much on your shoulders, on your back, on your wrist to be like in the warehouse trying to sign open books all the time. So that's one thing that we're doing. And I block film videos in the warehouse, although I have stopped doing that recently because that's a whole strategy question. But anyway, so I have somebody working in the warehouse. They will like accept all the deliveries, do the main so we've got a book releasing at the end of June, and every book that leaves the warehouse has freebies, but all those freebies have to be pre-prepped. So she's literally prepping thousands of packets of freebies at the moment. My mum goes in to help when we have like bigger, so for the pre-launch periods or Kickstarters and things like that. I've got a VA who does like customer services and deals with a lot of the queries that come in from the website. She is a virtual assistant, so she's an expat living in Costa Rica. That's basically the dream, isn't it? On the beach doing her work. Yeah. And then my sister works in the company and she manages my Instagram. And she does a lot of the social media strategy for that side. I still manage TikTok. I still write the books, and I still do like all the strategic kind of oversight and a lot of the decision making. But even now, I try and disseminate most of the decisions down. And then last but by no means least, I have my savior is the best way to describe her. And she started out as like a virtual assistant and has kind of developed into a creative director come operations manager come literally saves my life every day manager, and will do a lot of the product production. So if we decide to do a book box, I go write the book, give her like the world building, the character descriptions, the spice scenes that happen in it, and then she goes off, sources the products, does all the research, liaises with designers. I will still have the final say over covers and sort of give the cover brief, but she'll go off and do all of that. She will often troubleshoot, I don't know, shipping problems, like bloody EU regulation issues. She'll scream at DPD for me, who's our shipping provider, stuff like that. So like the balance is a lie. It doesn't exist. We've literally just moved house because I was not coping. Like our kid went to a school that was over half an hour away, and it was just too much. Like if something was forgotten or, you know, so that has helped, and it is now easier because I'm because I'm at home, I'm the primary parent. And then, I mean, I do go on holiday. Does that count? But like, I don't know. I don't like, it's really weird. I don't really feel like I have a job because I just play all day long. I just, if I don't like it, if I don't want to do it, I will hire somebody else to do it. And I'll hire somebody who does enjoy that job. I think that's my secret. Like, I will not hire anybody to do a job unless they love and are passionate about that job. Because then everybody in the business loves what they do. And like, it still amazes me that people love the shit that I hate. I'm like, are you sure? Are you sure? But they do. And I'm like, this is great. Like, come in, join the team. So I don't know. I drink a fuckload of coffee. That helps, if I'm honest.
Absolutely.
And I also, so anybody that knows me knows this is like my hyper focus, but like I'm really obsessed with Clifton Strengths. And do you guys know what the Clifton Strengths are?
No.
We're all like,
what? Okay, so this is like a personality metric, right? Everybody has the same 34 strengths, but in a different order. Okay, somebody keep me on track. I'm going to tell you a side story and then, wait, I've already forgotten the point of telling you this. Hold on. Anyway, the energy pennies, right? Energy pennies and the side story. So the side story is this personality metric changed my life so much that I went from writing 1,700 words in a work day to 2,000 words an hour.
Yeah.
And that's purely because I'm extremely competitive and had no idea, like none whatsoever. And when I told my wife this, she laughed in my face and was like, is that a joke? And I was like, what do you mean, is that a joke? She was like, you are quite literally the most competitive person I know. And I was like, I am? Anyway, so I now write in sprints, and I'm always looking for British people who are fast writers, or in a European time zone, or an early bird in America, or a night owl in Australia who will come and do writing sprints with me. And literally, I write in O-Write, and I can see their word counts, but not what they're writing. And so we like race to 1,000 words, or we race for 25 minutes or whatever. And it just changed my life. And it's always like friendly. It's not like, oh, you know, ooh, that kind of competition. It's literally like, yeah, you won, or like, yay, I won, or whatever.
Yeah.
But that gives me energy.
Yes.
So
you're
instead of
feeding
draining
off that,
me,
which, yeah,
right, I'm feeding off of it.
Yeah.
So I've like restructured how I work to generate energy rather than like eating the energy. And another thing that I learned from that whole system is that I have a voracious appetite for reading. I mean, I knew that, but I used to read like 52 books a year. This year, I've already read 52 books, you know? So like, it's a totally different, and that massively, I literally, because I track everything, the year I started trying to read over 100 books, my output in word count, this is the only thing I changed, my output increased 30%.
Yeah.
Just from reading more. So like, yeah, that's like, I try and structure work around what gives me energy, basically, so that I don't get drained.
To read that many and write as well, because Ali's quite a prolific reader. I was going to say writer. I mean, it would help. But I'm always amazed because all I do is read. But I don't know where I would then fit the time in to write my own books as well.
I don't watch TV particularly. Very, very rarely. And if I do, I binge watch. So like I will watch a whole season in like 4 days and I won't read. But I might only do that 3 or 4 times a year. So the last time I watched TV was at Christmas, and I binge watched 9 seasons of Selling Sunset.
I am a binger. I am a binger. I hate it when something is on weekly and I have to set time aside.
Sorry, I've got to put my aircon on. I'm having a hot flush. Give me a second.
Having a hot flush. We're all in that stage. Yeah. Get the aircon.
Sorry,
going.
I really need to take my jumper off as well.
No, I'm the same. If something gets my attention, I want to watch the whole thing from start to finish. And, And like when I was a kid and I used to read, my mum would go nuts because I would go and take a book, get in the bath, and read that book from start to finish. And I'd be in there like 6 hours just refilling the bath. And she would be like, "Are you getting out yet?" And I'd be like, "In a minute." And and that was my reading as a kid. It was like, I'll just sit here and read. And I think maybe that's a part of why I'm not a big reader at the moment, because I feel like I've got other things I need to be concentrating on.
So I find that fascinating, because that's something I've only recently learned, is that I am also a binge reader. My favorite way to read a book is in one go. I don't want to read it over the course of days. I want to sit down and read the whole book. And so when I'm on holiday, like if we always go away for like a 2-week break in the summer, I read a book or 2 a day, every day of that holiday. And then what I found, like in the UK, like I've been reading this sapphic book, which I love, but I'm struggling with it because it's been a week, because I'm only getting like a couple of minutes a day to read it. And now I'm like, well, I'm bored, but I'm not bored. It's just because that's not how I like to read. And so I've like fallen out of it. So I just need to like sit down and just binge the rest of it. But knowing that has helped to like carve out that space and force myself to carve out that space to do it. It's so weird, but like so much of being productive, I think, is about knowing yourself and knowing what works for you and not apologizing for that.
100%. Definitely. I was at that point where I was like, okay, you've got bills to pay. So this either becomes a job or you go and get a job, and then it's like, if this is going to be a job, what do I need to do to make sure that it works for me? And I am that person who I will sit down every single day for a couple of hours, knock out 2,000 words, and then go and do something completely different, because I have to walk away from it all. And it's kind of nice
every day.
I write every single day. Yeah.
Okay. So you probably have high consistency, like as a Clifton strength. And that is like, I've got a few friends that write like that. And I covet that skill. I just can't do it.
I'm the same. I can't do that. I would love to. I'd love to say I could absolutely sit down and write every day, but I binge write. So for me, like last year, I read over 400 books last year. And I wrote and I wrote
Right.
probably 6 or 8 books as well.
You wait, sorry. What? You did what?
I wrote about 6 or 8
400.
books, and then I read over 400 books.
I know.
Because
That's why I'm not in a competition with Ali. It's just not worth it.
Sacha, I think my life was completely about that. So every minute of my day, when I wasn't completely hyper focused on my writing, I was reading.
I wonder if you are number one focused. Like, I would love you guys to do your Clifton Strengths test just so that I know.
We're going to do it now. Is there a test? Send us the link.
Yeah, there is a test. That is absolutely fucking wild. Are you a fast reader? Do you read with your eyes?
I am.
With your ears?
Yes, I am a fast reader. Yes, I am a fast reader. But it's been really interesting actually. And this is going off a bit of a tangent. But so I recently got diagnosed with ADHD and autism. And I've just started my new medication, and it's actually stopped me reading.
Oh no!
Because I don't need the dopamine kick from reading anymore. So I'm reading, but in no way near what I was. And
how do you feel about that?
All right, because the things that I wasn't being able to get done, I wasn't being able to do, I'm now transitioning, being able to do that now. So I feel like I'm getting more of a balance in my life, because when I say like every minute of my day was either reading or writing, it really was. And that's okay when I'm on my own at home, but when my wife's at home and I couldn't get out of that obsession of reading or whatever, that was a problem. But now I can actually take time away and we can actually spend time together. But when I do read, I enjoy what I'm reading. I think it's making me a bit more picky with what I'm reading now as well, because when I do sit and read, I want to enjoy it. I want it to give me that escapism kind of thing as well. So that's been really interesting.
This year has absolutely exploded. But what I'm doing is I'm counting the pages I read in my DNF pile. So I've left Goodreads. I'm not on Goodreads anymore. And that's not how I track my reading, because it's becoming so toxic for my mental health. Because I was like, oh, well, I can only read books that are going to count towards my tracker or whatever, which is just absolute ridiculousness. So I now track it manually, which sounds ridiculous, but I do. And now I count how many pages I read in a DNF book. And at the end of the year, I've got a tally of like all of the books I've read and how many pages there are. I'm going to average them. And then if it's like 600 DNF pages, I'll just divide that by like the average book length so I can count the books. But anyway, I think as long as, that's amazing that you've got the diagnosis and that you are happier. I was just curious, like, as to how you felt about not reading as much, but if it's providing you benefits in other ways and you're now able to enjoy the books more, I think that's fucking wonderful.
Yeah, I definitely think that's it. It was only like last week that I kind of sat and realized, I was like, hey, I'm not actually like reading all the time, because usually, I just couldn't get my face away from the Kindle. So now it's going to be interesting to see what books actually grab my attention now, because before I would read anything just to give me that dopamine kick. But and it's going to be interesting to see how it is with my writing, because I am a fast writer. I've got all my books for this year done. I've got 3 for next year done. And so now I'm like, right, okay, that gives me time, because when I don't want to sit and write, because I can't, if my brain goes, no, you're not doing it, I'm like, okay, then I don't have to. But that other anxiety side of me goes, yeah, but if you haven't got books ready, then what happens when you get to that point and you need, so that's why I just write. So we're going to see now how this all changes my writing as well, how that goes. So it might be that by next year I've not written anything for 12 months.
Just shut down completely.
Just fuck that up, sorry.
1 month on them, 1 month off them.
That's it. Well, I just so these guys know that I just finished writing 2 books simultaneously. So I did like one chapter in the morning of one book and 1 chapter in the afternoon of another book. So I got 2 books written. So now I'm like, right, I'm going to take a month off now, and I'm not going to worry about it.
My head boggles at that ability. So I've got a friend that I do a lot of accountability with, and they write in multiple projects.
Yeah.
I don't know how I don't know. Like, I struggled to keep the fucking plot of one book straight in my head, let alone any more than that. Like that, I am like in awe of that. Everything that you just said, I'm just in awe of. I think it's fucking amazing. I would kill to be able to be that far ahead. Do you know, that's like the biggest problem in my business is me, actually. I'm the problem. But I just can't get far enough ahead ever.
Yeah. I think, you see, I'm a similar to Ali. I'm not as prolific as she is, but I tend to have two on the go, but one will take over at some point. I'll get so far into it and one becomes the one that, we're finishing this now, and the other one will just sit there. But literally, as soon as I send that one to editing, I'm straight into that next one. So I'm already, like, I've just sent one to editing, that's being done, and I'm already 10,000 words into the next one, and by the time the editing comes back, I'll be 20,000 words in. And so, do you know what I mean? So it just had, but I think when it's straight just romance, the plots are a lot easier. You can kind of, it's quite, you know what I mean? Girl meets girl, this happens, that happens, and happy ever after. It's quite, there's not an intricacy that you have to be like, and I've got to remember what this character did and what that character did and what this plot is, and which I think probably more with your writing is probably more intricate. You've got a lot more detail in there to remember and stuff. So I think sometimes, it's easier just to and it's the first draft as well, so they're always like, you can go back in with a second one and add more in if you want to. But it's definitely a skill.
Oh, I mean, for sure. I mean, I finish one book and forget it. It doesn't do anything. So I finish. So I've got ones for next year, but I've written it and that's it. I won't look at it now for months until I'm ready to go back and then go over it and start with the editing process. So it's not I've written it, edited it, it's completely done. No, it's been written and it's waiting for me to then go back to it when my brain can cope with reading the same characters over and over again.
I always find as well, I have to reread my own books so that I can remember, like if I'm doing a sequel or something, I have to reread it because I won't remember anything about the character, like what color eyes I gave them or what their hair looked like or whatever. That's all gone once it's gone to editing.
I do love it when your readers message you like, oh my God, I can't believe you did this to it. I'm like, did I? Oh my God.
Yeah. You're like, really? What was their name?
I didn't know that.
See, I've said before that I find it bizarre that they don't have notebooks with this character has got blonde hair, blue eyes, blah, 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 blah. This is the job they do. This is.
Oh no, I have notebooks upon
notebooks. Thank you very much.
Like I have like my murder board down here, which I can't show because I'm working on the next thing. Like I have literally 3 whiteboards in this office, and then I have dozens of world building documents online because like we're in the process of having sets of covers and maps created, and because what I'm about to do is like a 7-book series, it's I don't know why I do this to myself, but it's like super complex and intricate. Like why?
Yes.
So it's like the pressure to know all the stuff is even worse, and at least I'm not perimenopausal.
Well, that leads us perfectly onto our last question for you, which is, what are you working on?
I am working on not a lot. I am working on, what have we announced? We've announced that it's Mafia, 7 Deadly Sins inspired. And we haven't announced, I just said 7 books. If it doesn't sell, I will close it off at 3 because I'm good like that. I'm writing myself an out because I still have a mortgage to pay. I hope that it will be 7 books long, but we'll see what happens with the orders and the pre-orders. And I'm currently working on the prequel, and I am notorious for cliffhangers, but I needed a break from writing the same couple in like a trilogy or a duet. I personally prefer one and done. I prefer like writing interconnected standalones, but obviously they sell better if they're not, and it's the same couple.
Yeah,
particularly in fantasy. So I'm doing a bit of a hybrid where I've got what I have to say I think is probably my best plot twist ever. But nobody's going to know about it until like book 7. So yeah, it will be like this.
Yeah, you want to keep the plot twist.
Yeah.
You know, that's the point that's going to grab everyone, isn't it? But you know,
I'm hoping so. And like structurally, what I'm doing is a bit different. So yeah, I'm excited for this, and like I've already invested a shitload in different art and things that are going to be for it. So yeah, I've just managed to secure a cover designer that I nearly wet my pants with excitement over. So I'm really I'm really excited about that cover designer because they designed my favorite covers from another author ever. And I have been waiting to be able to afford the map designer for about 5 years because like it made me cry how expensive it is. But obviously this is going to be across multiple books. And this map designer is insane. Like I've never seen artwork like it. So yeah, I'm really excited for that as well. So lots and lots of bits and bobs in the background, but mostly, mostly just working on that. And right, here's the thing. And I don't know if you guys can relate to this. I'm sure you probably will be able to. But my first 2 series are as Ruby, I wrote for me. And have you guys heard of the Writing for the Id by Jennifer Lynn Barnes?
No.
Oh my God. Okay. So if you haven't, there are lectures out there that you can find and they're a few dollars to buy. And it's this whole concept, you know, Freud, the id, the ego and the super ego.
Yeah.
Okay. So the id is like the base part of our brain. It's like the lizard brain. It wants what it wants, when it wants it, how it wants it. And the reason that bestsellers become bestsellers is because they put all of these little id bits in there. And it's not just things like enemies to lovers, although that is like an id tickle. It's even little things like I love twins, love them. I love family sagas. So like Succession. Has anybody watched Succession?
I've watched a bit of it, not managed to get all the way through my binge.
It is slow. I'm not going to lie. It's slow.
Yeah,
but that's one of my favorite. Yeah. Well, my complex family dynamics is like my fave. Yeah. And so I always try and put complex family dynamics in. Anyway, when you write for yourself, you are basically pouring stuff that your id likes into your books. But my last series, I wrote more what I thought the market wanted. And I found that process a lot harder. And so even outlining, drafting, like handling the launches just psychologically was so much harder. So this time I was like, fuck this shit. I am writing this motherfucker for me. So like I'm revealing very little about it. And I am literally pouring all of my favorite stuff. I mean, I must have read 50 or 60 mafia books in the last year. And I'm just like, all my favorite structures, all my favorite tropes, all my favorite, like, you know, little shit like, I don't know, waterfalls or rooftop kisses or whatever, you know, like the little things that people love, I'm putting it all in. And so surprising literally no one, the outlining and world building, way easier. Who knows?
Because you're pouring all your enthusiasm into it, aren't you? You're excited about it.
Exactly.
And it's coming from you,
100%. So little tip, be a selfish bitch and only write for yourself.
Gonna do that. Absolutely. Love it.
Well, I should think then, like you said, the merchandising and the social media is much easier because you're interested in it, because it's something you want to see yourself. So you're gonna, you know, give it your all, aren't you? You're going to spend the time doing it rather than going, oh God, this is such hard work, I can't be arsed.
Yeah.
Nothing will ever make me say that about social media.
I know.
Oh, I love social media.
Every ounce of my being.
Are you analytical though? Why not just sack it off and do ads instead? If you don't like it, don't do it.
Because I don't, to be honest with you, that side of things is I just can't seem to get a strategy that works for me. I just can't seem to. It's not something that I've been able to settle into and do.
Yeah, you know why?
No.
Because you don't like it.
Oh yeah, there's that.
You are never ever going to find a strategy that works for you.
I've done some ads, but they've never had a return for me that I'm like, yeah, this is worth it.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you like doing?
Writing, and that's it.
Okay, so outsource the marketing, give it to someone else, find somebody, pay someone. If you don't like it, you are always going to find it hard, and you're never going to get it to work the way that somebody who loves it is going to get it to work. I love the camera, and that is why social media works for me. I can't do ads. My brain looks at numbers and is like, nah. So like, why try? There's no point. It's not going to work for me. But the minute I realized that I like social media, and before, like back in the day, it was all like static posts on Instagram. I fucking hate. I'm not a photographer. I'm like a whore for the camera. Like, I love performance and acting, and I'm an ex-theatre kid, for God's sake, you know? So it's like, yeah, of course I was going to be able to prance like a twat in front of a 5-second reel, because I've got no shame. So
there you go, Ali.
You know,
that's what I need to do.
Get out in the field and prance like a twat.
No, if that's not you as a person, that's not going to work.
What I would be really, really good at is moaning on camera. I'd be really good at that.
Well, I think that works though, because I do that on TikTok, and I found that, you know, I was the same. I was like, oh, I'm really not someone really who likes being on camera, and I'm not one of these people that's like, have you read my book? You know, this is, I just feel like a complete twat. But I can sit there and have a little moan in a very comical way about something.
I don't think mine would be comical. That's the problem. I just,
you find your audience. You know what I mean? You do find your audience. And I went from being like, I think I'd been on TikTok for about 3 years and had managed to get about 800 followers. And then I started actually putting myself on the video and just waffling shit. And suddenly I've got like 2,200 now within 6 months. And you're just like, okay, so people like listening to me waffle shit. Like, I can do that. Like, that is actually fun. I can make that interesting, and I can chuck a few book related stuffs in it, enough to get people are now like, oh, I've read a few of your books. And you're like, okay, that's a strategy that I can get on board with. But like you, Ali, just creating ads.
Call my dog for 5 seconds and then be like, buy my book.
But seriously, one of the key things that I said, like, about how to make this business work is know thyself. Yeah. If you know that you are really bloody good at getting story out, focus on that and give the shit that you don't like to somebody who does enjoy it.
Yeah, it's finding those people though, isn't it? Because once again, you know, I've had horror stories of people doing that and finding people who have taken the money and then have not done the job, and it's just been a nightmare. So
but that's part of running business.
It makes me reticent. All of it makes me a bit like, oh my God, you know, because somebody can claim to be a marketing person, they can claim to be great at it, but you know, it's
take referrals, like ask friends of authors or people that authors have worked with, but that is, I mean, I've been ripped off. Even as Ruby, I've had people work for me and like basically not do any work and stuff like that. That is part and parcel of business, but you can't let that crush you. You've just got to get up and try again, because we've got like a society's mind to change. Like, I want us to get a #1 Amazon bestseller, because what that will do is that will have changed the reader market to be more accepting of sapphic fiction. The day that somebody does that will be a really fucking good day for our market, because at the moment, you know, obviously it's straight romance and then it's male loving male romance, which great, fantastic, it's part of the queer community, but we are still stigmatized. And until we get regularly in the top 100 and not Gideon the Ninth and not fucking Priory of the Orange Tree, because they're all trad.
Well, that bloody book. Every time I've released a book, that sodding book is back on #1 and stops me getting there. And I'm like, fuck off.
but once we get an indie author into the top 100, that will show that the penetration of sapphic fiction is wider than just sapphic readers or friends of sapphic readers. And like, that is what I'm gunning for. Like, I want to help change the face of like the reader market, so that we are accepted and our love is valid as valid as everybody else. So that's why you can't give up. All that pressure.
All that pressure.
I think you will 100% do that. I think you're already doing that. You're already changing what writing is for a lot of people in this community.
Thanks,
I think,
Claire.
you know, both of you, you know, when you look at how fast you can get a book out, and you look at, you know, how, you know, Sacha's got a warehouse, for fuck's sake. Do you know what I mean?
I've got 2 now, but
I was going to say there's 2, isn't there?
It's incredible. Like for me, my sales are very much ebook and Kindle Unlimited. Like trying to get people to buy paperbacks is ridiculous. The fact that you have to have 2 warehouses to ship out that many, it's incredible. And that does mean to me, I think that it is breaking barriers. It is pushing through. You're not just hitting the sapphic market anymore. You're hitting something different with that. I think
that's because it's fantasy. So the book covers they're amazing because you can put all the detail in, you can do the edges, everything like that. And for some reason, everybody seems to be obsessed with getting the hardback because they're beautiful, aren't they? But I think it's because it's fantasy as well that you can put all that effort into the covers, and there's just something more. Like if you guys, no offense, if you guys did hardback covers with the edges,
I did it with one.
Wouldn't work because it's not the same.
I did a hardback for my best-selling book, Scarlet Fever. I think I created the hardback for it, and I think I sold 2 copies. It was just like it just wasn't worth it. Like that, I don't have that audience, and I've accepted that that's my audience is not paperbacks. It's not special editions, and I'm all right with that because, to be fair, I don't really want the overwhelm of it all. But but I think
I'm going to challenge that. I'm going to call bullshit on that because do you know how many people in this industry told me not to do what I'm doing? A lot. Like seriously, big names in the industry, big people told me you will not make any money. And I said, fucking watch me, because that saying I've accepted or I don't have the audience is a limiting barrier. You're placing a limit on yourself. Like when we say, there's like a crisis, a cost of living crisis, blah, blah, blah. Yes, those things are true. Yeah. But alongside that, there are also people in society who do still have money and who do still want to pay for entertainment. I was at a conference and I heard a phrase, Willow Winters said this, and it literally changed my life and changed how I look at audience or what I think I am capable of. And it was, who am I to judge what is in my reader's pocket? Yeah. And who am I to judge how they spend that money? If they want to give me money for that hardback bestseller or that hardback special edition or that paperback or that ebook, who am I to judge them for that? We don't know what people want until we have exercised every last possible option we have for gaining visibility. Yeah. Because 9 times out of 10, it will sell if you can just find the audience. But that is the problem. That is the game we're really playing in this industry. It's not how many books you can write. It's not how good you can do a post on TikTok or a post on social media. It's how good are you at reaching people? If you don't like reaching people by social media, do in-person events. If you don't like in-person events, do ads. If you don't like ads, outsource it. But that's the game that we are playing. We are playing a visibility game. And I think your books would sell because the sapphic market is massive and it is growing. Well,
we just got to sort our strategy out, Claire.
We've got to sort it out. You've given us a lot to sit there and think about and read up on and investigate.
No, when you come over in June, Claire, that's going to be our week of sorting our shit out.
Sort our shit out. We do. I do. Yes, we do have this thing.
Alternatively, you could just not as well. Like, it's up to you.
No, we want to.
I did tell you I'm a bit of a savage. Like, that's how I started this conversation. So
no, but I mean, these are the interesting conversations. And like you say, if you don't know, you don't know. And until somebody starts talking to you about something, and you can be like, oh, never thought about it, never looked at it that way, kind of thing. Oh, I'll go and look that up. And like you say, people say a word to you or a sentence, and it hits and strikes home.
And think about it. We had the 2008 financial crisis. There were still people out there buying fucking Ferraris.
Yeah. Well, it has been absolutely awesome to have you on our show because I don't think we've ever had a guest on this long. Like, they've normally buggered off and left us.
No.
We love it.
It's been really interesting.
Exactly. But we
Sorry, my
will.
wife's screaming at me now.
She's like, you ain't supposed to be on there for 15 minutes.
No, it's my fault. I love talking. Clearly, I told you.
It has been amazing. It has been amazing, and we will let you go so you can get back on with your building your empire and getting these next books written, because I'm pretty sure your readers are going to be chomping at the bit to see what you come up with next. So,
thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, thank you. It's been awesome.
Thank you.
See you later.
Bye.
Wowza. That was really good.
That was, and it was so much information as well, like proper
My brain hurts
information.
now. I'm gonna have to think about things now.
We're going to be obsessed about
do yourself
it now.
an injury.
But anyway, let's put all of our obsessive things that we're going to be doing to one side. Write it down on a note, because we still have to know about what Leah's been reading.
Oh my God. We'll just do this really quickly this month. But I do want
just do it. I mean, we can have an extended show. We'll just we'll market it that way. It's an extended show.
All right then. Let's have a look. What are we looking at first? Emily Wright, The Forbidden Fling. With that's not a great focus. Age gap, Portugal.
I love a bit of
It's like a
Portugal.
wellness island they go to. The age gap is actually the mother of her ex-girlfriend. But they don't know that at first. So you got that going on. It's also, I found it actually quite interesting because for once there was a medical issue that I'd never really thought about. And at first I kind of went, oh, okay. And it made me, what's the word I'm looking for?
Interested?
No, it kind of made me go, actually, how would I feel about that? So one of the younger main character's got a stoma bag.
Introspective, is that what?
Yes. And how I would feel about having to have that done, or having a relationship with somebody that's had that done. And there were a few things in there I'd never really thought about, like how they protect the bag and everything like that. It was quite interesting.
You probably need to tell them what.
I did say it was stoma.
No, you said it.
And then I said stoma bag, but you were talking over the top of me.
No, you just said bag and then didn't say anything else.
Could listener number 3 please check back and give notes to Ali? Thank you very much. Anyway, Emily Wright is one of my favourite authors, and yes, it's book 2 in a series as well. Going to be honest, I can't remember what the original book was.
We are women of a certain age. We can't remember everything.
Oh my God. I made notes on everything apart from that. Look, I even made notes that they're called Faye and Diana, just in case, I'd forgotten that as well. Next up, which Ali has read as well, Halo.
I'm reading.
Oh, you're reading?
I'm reading.
Yeah,
Halo.
Yes. We were discussing this because I think it reminded me a little bit of K-pop Demon Hunters.
Okay.
Yeah. The whole vibe that's going on. There's magic involved. I don't really want to give too much away as usual.
Pop stars,
humans, dance moves that create magic,
Power Rangers,
swords that have names.
Yeah,
I can't wait to find out where these swords came from. You've got like ink. I want to say Inkwell, and I don't think that's what it's
I don't think that's right.
Ink something. Didn't write that down.
Aurora is one.
Aurora. It's a ex-best friend plot.
Okay.
Again, I don't want to give too much away.
Moira Darling.
Nice.
What was that?
Moira Darling, isn't it?
Yes,
Who wrote
Moira Darling. Who else we got next? This one. Okay, so In the Lonely Hours.
Okay.
It's not focusing very well, is it, this time?
It's not that you're focused, it's that the sun is shining off your windows, and that's...
I see my blinds in the background.
Yeah, we'll see your blinds, but hold it up, that's it, perfect there.
Okay. I've been waiting for her to write another book, and I keep harassing her about it because she's...
Who is this?
Ellie Alexandra.
Okay.
And Dandra. I always want to put an R on the end for some reason. You've got an ER doctor who's basically in burnout. What are you two sniggering at?
We're not. We're watching you. We're giving you our utmost attention whilst you
I feel like smirking. Right, let me read my notes. No. ER doctor has burnout, and then you've got an ex-professional pianist. There's an age gap. They live in an apartment complex together. Obviously, the ER doctor is desperate for sleep. She cannot sleep. She's on the go all the time. And this pianist starts playing music at like 1 o'clock in the morning and all this kind of thing. Anyway, there's a really funny bit because what they do is they put sticky notes. They have like a sticky note war. So it's going backwards and forwards on each other's doors. They put them over the peepholes and all this kind of thing. See, I laughed so many times. And it's not just humour in it, though. There's a lot of emotion in there because the pianist is recovering again. I'm not going to say why, but they're recovering from something. Cool. So you've got all that kind of trauma going on in the background. But it's a really nice love story as well. But it's quite Ice Queeny. And like I said, you've got the age gap. So Ellie just knocked it out of the park again, as far as I'm concerned. It was brilliant. Yes, couldn't get enough of it. Next one. Girlfriend Goals.
Claire Lydon.
Yeah.
Friend of the show, yes.
I did make a little bit of a joke that she did share the other day that, spoiler alert, it's got football in it. So I was kind of like, I mean, football isn't my thing, but I'm not adverse to reading the books. So I was kind of, for me, it was like, I can read them if there's not too much football going on. And she writes them enough that I'm interested. And the background, the characters are always really like, you know, they're proper decent characters that you want to know enough about. Again, you've got a bit of a best friends when they were younger, the ghosting, not knowing why they've been ghosted, to one character feeling ashamed of what she's done, basically. But they end up both managers for the women's football teams, one's for England and one's for Ireland. And they then end up as co-hosts for, what is it, the Euros?
Euros, yeah.
Yeah, Euros.
Yeah.
And they're co-hosting it. So they obviously got all that going on. They haven't seen each other in like 10 years or more. Like I said, one of them doesn't know what actually happened. She just knows her best friend just disappeared, wouldn't answer her. So you got all that going on in the background. But they're also being followed by a camera crew because they're doing a documentary on the fact that they're co-hosting. And also over the years, they know something has gone on, or the public knows something's gone on. So they're really interested in how this dynamics is going to work. Yeah, that was really fun because Claire writes humour really well. It's good.
When's that out?
I think it's the end of, it's in a couple of weeks. It's not long.
It's not long. Ellie's has just come out. I think it came out today. You two waffle while I have a quick look.
What are we waffling about? What? You should have all this prepared.
Yeah, I've got all these notes, and the one thing I didn't write down, and I even thought last month, Ali kept picking me up on, when's it coming out? When's that coming out, Leah?
I do my football podcast. We now have a jingle for Charlie because she does.
Oh dear.
And the jingle is all about having the fact that Duncan always asks her an awkward question,
right?
That she's never prepared for. And I feel like we've just done that to Leah.
I do it every month. You'd think she'd learn.
Right, are you ready?
Just out an awkward question and she's like, eek, I didn't write that down. It doesn't matter.
Do you know what? Actually, when I'm looking at it, it just says the 21st or the 22nd of May.
They are. There's towards the end of May.
Yeah. So not long.
Not long.
The others are already out, and Ellie's is out today. Whoop, whoop.
There you go.
That's one. Yes. Well, yes, they'll be going on my little.
Anything else you've read? Anything else you want to discuss, talk about?
Claire's. Claire sent me hers over.
Yeah. When's that out, Claire?
I'm hoping for around the 1st of June. You know me. I don't like to put too eager a date on it, just in case it all goes shit in editing. But I feel like it's all right. I've had good vibes from Linda. She's messaged to say this is actually a lot easier to edit than normal. I'm quite happy with it, but she still does have plenty of things to tell me. So we will see.
All I'm going to say is the mother is epic. Absolutely hysterical, epic.
Gloria is quite funny. It's
all the dynamics work really well.
I didn't set out to write a rom-com, but I feel like it's kind of edged into that it's
she's kind of the comedy edges. But to be fair, actually, the interaction between her and her daughter it starts off a bit frosty, and then once it starts thawing, you get they both got snipey sense of humour.
You know, like when you used to watch a soap opera, they would always introduce a character that you would hate them. You'd be like, oh, they're such an arsehole, you know, blah, blah. But by sort of 2 seasons in, you were like, everybody's been transferred into, now we love this and we support this person. And I feel Gloria is that kind of character. You start off, you're meant to not like her. And gradually, as the book unfolds, you sort of start to...
I mean, to be fair, I didn't dislike her. I kind of understood why she was behaving the way she was.
Yeah, exactly. Well, some people won't. Some people will just feel like right at the beginning she's just mean and cruel and horrible. But actually, as the book unfolds, you get this sort of understanding of why she's behaving the way she is, how that's interacting with her daughter, and then how the other main character, Matty, is managing her. Like nobody else has managed to do. So, it was
fun.
It was good fun. It was good fun. It's a slow burn to steamy. I think would be it's not straight in there, but it does get quite steamy.
I did ask for a little bit more of a little. You've put that in there, but we didn't say nothing about it, so she added that to it.
She requested it and she got it. So we'll see how that works out in the end. But that's why I get you to read it, because you can tell me what you think is missing. What that's the whole point, isn't it? It's you're giving me a reader's version, opinion of. Well, I liked it, but I'd love it more if it had this in it, or it didn't have that in it, or whatever. So. And then you can make those adjustments before I send them off and pay out for
or I get it's fine. Fine, that's fine. I'll just put it in my own head that's what happened.
It's but I'm excited. It's called The Art of Denial, so I'll leave you to decide what that means. It's quite good fun. It was good fun. I've enjoyed it. I'll be posting. I'll probably be doing the cover reveal this week, so that'll be exciting.
I just thought I am doing an ARC read as well at the moment, but it's Crash Into You.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah. It's taking me a little longer to read, but just because it's quite traumatic to start with. I've done a lot of sobbing, a lot of red puffy eyes, and I don't really need that before work. It's good. But I'm having to read it in stages at the moment until maybe it starts get going a little bit, because there's a death in it.
Yeah. Well, this has all been fabulous. So, Ali, what are you planning to be doing now that you are back writing and back into the world of work?
I don't know.
No, she looks like she don't give a shit, don't she? She looks
like
she's quite happy here, just spinning around in my seat.
I've so far managed to get caught up with my emails, and that's about it, really. No, that's a lie. I've started reading through my my witch story, so I'm going to go through it, read through it, probably send it to Leah, send it to Ange to read. That is as far as my planning has gone, to be honest.
Excellent.
Well, it is.
That was exciting, people.
Well, I mean, you may be excited to know that I have started the next, obviously, book while I'm waiting for Linda to edit. And it is a new book in the Chances. It's in the Chances collection.
Right. Is that football? That's football, isn't it?
Yes. But like Leah said.
Are you just going to do a book for every person in the team?
Possibly, but no. I just felt like this one it just fit as something to do, and I thought actually people are really enjoying this series, and I get a lot of requests for more, so why not? If I have the story, why not do it? So we'll see how we get. We might get halfway through it and bin it off, I don't know, but
well, can I have it first?
If I get it finished.
I am the only owner of a copy of it.
if I ever get it finished. But yeah,
Screw everybody else. It's just for me.
Yeah, there will be obviously a lot of returning characters, and yeah, I think that's part of the fun for me. I like bringing returning characters. So
it is nice to read. You kind of go, oh, Scarlett's back in it.
Well, exactly, and I think actually people who read Art of Denial will be surprised by, I think, a couple of the returning characters that I don't think anyone will probably expect to see.
Now I'm trying to remember.
Yeah,
I
remember.
What was in it?
We'll discuss it when we stop recording. Give it away.
I know who it is. I know who it is now. Yes. I went. Okay.
Yeah, I think it will be, and obviously that will potentially mean another book in that series.
I did wonder. So
we will see. We will see where that
little
goes.
Returning character there, or two.
We do love it. Yeah. So yeah. Anything else anyone wants to talk about before we sign off on our extended? We should be writing.
Oh, we had a nice time in Francine Alley. There we go. Bye.
What's the France since we did the last pod? Like, I've completely lost all track of time. It was, isn't it?
Feels like ages ago.
Yeah. No, it was. It was great. I'm looking forward to my next trip over, as long as the world doesn't implode and oil prices go up and my flight gets cancelled.
Is that?
I'm driving over if that's the case. I'll just get on the bloody ferry and just.
Toot, toot.
Toot, toot, toot. Why are we tooting that? I don't even know.
Because I put that on the
If you are change the
picture.
name, my contact's to Leah Toot Toot. Because
I was like, all aboard, toot toot. And Ali was like, it's not a fucking train.
Well, anyway, yes, we're booked up for a new trip, so we will, like you say, we will get our asses in gear, get ourselves organised. We're much better when we sit down around the table outside with a few beers and just waffle shit about what we're going to do.
I'm really disappointed I can't get that cider over here. You might have to bring some.
We just have to book another weekend away.
no.
Just to drink cider. I'm off on a cider weekend, I am.
Why not?
A bit of cider.
You can come over while we're working. You can be reading. It's a working holiday. It's a retreat.
Okay.
So, yeah. Anyway, I think as we have done all our yapping, that we should really just say goodbye to listener number 3 and to however many more. I think we've had a little influx of readers listening to us. So
we have.
Goodbye, listener number 4 then.
Quite nice.
Maybe listener number 6 is going to become a thing now. I don't know.
We can't take it away from listener number 3.
No,
listener number 3 is always going to be listener number 3. But yeah, so we will catch up with you all next month. And I will have this out as quickly as
Ali's
I can.
gone. Bye.
Ali's like, bye. We're bye.
Doodles.
See you later.